Hi Flosstube, this is Nancy Quilting Stitcher. Today is March 24th, 2018. Video 20 or 21, I'm not sure. It will be in the show notes down below, in the title, I guess. I have a lot to show you, and I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. So anyway, the first thing I did want to say is I have changed my channel name. It is no longer just Quilting Stitcher. I have changed it to my full name, which is Nancy Garner Quilting Stitcher. The reason I did this is because when I set up my YouTube channel, I set it up as Quilting Stitcher, and it changed my email address or my email name. So when somebody gets an email from me, they, instead of getting it from me, they're getting it from Quilting Stitcher. So there are some emails that people need to know who is sending it, not just Quilting Stitcher. And if they don't know the two are related, then they may not get the email right. So I went in and switched it. So my new channel name on here is Nancy Garner Quilting Stitcher. I'm going to try to go through this fast. I do not want this to be a very long video. So I'm going to jump right into what I've got. I am going to say, it has been a while since I did my last video. It's been almost 2 weeks. I am not going to do videos every week. I just can't do it. There's just too much going on in my life right now, and I just can't do it every week. I'm going to maybe twice a month. If not, I'm going to just do a monthly update. Excuse me, a monthly update. Okay, so fully finishes. Fully FFOs. Fully finished. Yeah, fully finished. Okay, these are charts that I stitched. This one I stitched in 2006. It is by Bent Creek. It is still available. I did check on 123 Stitch, and it is on there. And I believe it's called Let's Be Thankful. And I finally framed it. And I showed you this frame, and I asked it for suggestions whether I should put it in the frame and put it behind the glass, or if I should Priscillify it. I decided this was the way I wanted it. I did not want all of the foo-foo stuff around it. So there it is. There are more. I do have more of these types of Bent Creek charts that I do plan on stitching eventually, and I can switch them out within this frame. The next thing I have is also by Bent Creek. Excuse me, I gotta reach. It's also by Bent Creek. This I stitched last year. I do not know the name of the chart, and I do not know if it's still available. It was from a long time ago, and I no longer have the chart to even refer back to it. I think there was a series on this one. So that got that fully finished. And I'm sorry, there's a glare. That's what happens when you have glass, I guess. Both of these frames, well, all the frames that I show you, I did buy at the thrift store. This one I did repaint. And my next one is by Lizzie Kate. It's called Wouldn't Life Be Great? I still have the chart. I am now going to hold on to my Lizzie Kate charts. Just because she's announced her retirement. It's hard to get her charts anymore. And yeah, I'm thinking I need to hold on to my charts because I think they're going to become like Prairie Schoolers, where they're going to be hard to get. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think. So this is it. This was stitched in 2016. And also a thrift store frame, and I did repaint it. And it says, wouldn't life be great if sweatpants were sexy, Mondays were fun, junk food was good for you, girls didn't cause so much drama, guys weren't so confusing, and saying goodbye only meant until tomorrow. There you go. And I have one more fully finished item. It is not cross stitch related, but it is stitching, but not cross stitching. I showed you the kit for this, I think, in my last video, and it's wool applique. I just bought a small kit because I wanted to see if it's something that I enjoy doing, and if I did, then I can, buy some more. So I bought a small kit, and I finished it. And the kit came with everything to finish it except for the pins. Whoops, and I will get to the pins in a minute. So it came with all the felt. I didn't come with the thread either, the floss. I just used DMC floss. And that's my back. I know it's not straight, but that's where I cut the slit so I could stuff it. And I know that that's not straight, but you don't see the back. And it's in my sewing room, and no one's going to see it, so it doesn't matter. And then I went on to just another button company. I was looking at their buttons, or their little pins, to see if I could find some sheep pins. And they have some really cute ones, but I wasn't going to pay $15 for 3 of them. So I made my own. And I had these were buttons. And I just glued let me show you, glued a pin on the back. And made my own little pins. So there you go. A fully finished object. Okay, so those are my FFOs. The next is my finishes. I have had a few. I'm sorry, I'm reaching. I finished, let's see if I can find something to put behind this so you can see it. I finished the church from the Hometown Holiday Series by Little House Needleworks. And I used all DMC. I changed I think this was supposed to be ecru. It does not show up on my fabric. So I am using 3865. Excuse me. I'm going to see if I can open up my blind a little bit so I can get some light in here. There you go. And then whoops, sorry. I added instead of adding red stitches up there for the berries, I added red beads, and also red beads along the window trim. And then I added the white beads just to add a little bit more snow onto it. So that's what I got. I'm working these in order, and I am deciding that my goal is to at least get one done a month. So my next fully finished thing is this. This is a Mill Hill kit. It is on perforated paper. This is the first time I've ever stitched on perforated paper. I'm not a fan. Just going to put that out there. But with that being said, I do have all of the whole series, and I will do them all, but just not a fan. I did find that I bought some stretcher bars, and I pinned this onto the stretcher bars, and I was able to stitch probably from the green clear down to just there inside the stretcher bars, and then I had to pop it off the stretcher bars to finish it. These I was going to make for my grandkids for Christmas. Every year I make ornaments, or every year I give my kids an ornament for Christmas, and I decided I wanted to do a stitch ornament this year. And my intention was to do, there's 6 in the series, and then I would have to stitch 2 more. Stitch 2 of them twice to get 8 of them. They are not going to get these for Christmas this year. Although they did work up fairly quick, because I'm not a fan of perforated paper, and I don't want to do them on the plastic canvas. I'm just going to take my time and not push myself to get them done. So I will do them all, but I'm not going to do all 8 of them this year. So I'm going to have to figure out something else for them for Christmas this year. But anyway, so I got that one done. So those are my finishes. Oh, no, they're not. I still have more. Sorry. Okay, the next thing that I finished was for the stitch along that I am doing on my Facebook group. I'll fold this so that you can see it. On my Facebook group, I am doing the Santa's Village. We're doing Santa's Village. This one I believe is called North Pole Post Office. And that is it. That's my finish. I do have the button. It's a button of a dove that goes up on the top. And I will add the buttons after I get the whole thing stitched up. So that one I also finished it. So here is all 3 of them so far. Also stitching one of these a month. On the bottom, I'm doing them in the DMC flosses rather than the overdyed flosses. And when I was stitching this, and I pulled out the green for this, it was $4.69, no, $4.70, and I got looking at it and I thought that green doesn't match the green in this border or this border. It's because I stitched these 2 in the wrong color of green. So, and it's only a shade off, so it should be $4.70, and I'm stitching it in $4.69. So I'll just continue with the $4.69. But there's that one. Okay, the other finish I have is I finished up in the Lizzie Kate rules. I am doing I'm doing it like this. I've started from the bottom and I've got this one done. Greet a ghost, and I think this is the 3rd one up. And there you go. I do need to add, he does have buttons for his eyes. Buttons I will add when I get the whole thing done and ironed. So I've got 3 done. My goal also is to get one of these done a month. I can actually sit down in an evening and get probably 90% of this done. So, yeah, I'm going to stitch one of these a month. So I'm just going to kind of go into plans on this. So next month, in April, I will stitch that one. Brew some fun. I can't read backwards. Brew some fun. Also next month for Santa's Village, I will start on this one. This is Mrs. Claus's Cookies. That's the next one in that series. The last, and I'm just going to show you. And then in April, I'll start on, this is number 7 in the series for the Hometown Holidays, is the Firehouse. So I will start on that one. So that kind of is my plans. Next thing I have is my whips. I am also I'm doing the Shepherd's Bush stockings. I am trying to do 1 a month. This is the one I am working on. It's called, I think it's maybe Reed's stocking. I'm not sure. This is one of the ones I don't have the charts anymore, just the working copies that I had made. And that's what I'm doing. I think last time I showed you I was still working on his coat. So I've got the shepherd completely done. The sheep is outlined, but I have not filled him in. I still need to fill him in. What I have done different on this, I don't know if you can even see this, really. Okay, so there is where I'm at. Now, what I have changed and what I'm doing different. On the top, it only has the one border, this border right here. So I left a space for the name, added another border to make it taller, longer. Because of how I'm just learning on these, and I'm trying to find the easiest way to center them and put them on and add things to make them so that they are as big as I need them to be. So this one I tried a different way, and I drew the pattern or the lines for the stocking, and then I centered the shepherd in those lines. Shepherd is, when I get it done, is not centered. I mean, he is centered in these lines technically, but he's not centered where I need him to be. So it's okay. This is how it's going to be on this one. So he has a heart motif over here. Instead of putting it over here, I'm going to put it over here because I need to fill in some here. The moon was supposed to be over his staff, and then there was a star here, and I put the moon here, and I'll put the star over his staff. And then down here at the bottom, because of how I did it also, he should be down further. His bottom of his feet should be about down to here. And he's not. So I am going to have to add, there is a border, a zigzag border that goes across here, but I'm going to have to add something else to it. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. And if you can, I don't know if you can see that house, but then there's another house right here. So I'm going to have to add more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse this house and put it here, and then add another little house here. And then as far as this side, the chart went to there, and I added just some extra on the hill. I added a tree, and I added another little sheep. So, and then I still have, there's a couple of borders that go down here that I still need to add. So, but that's where I'm at. I'm just about done with this. I will have it done by the end of the month. In fact, I'm working on it. I'm going to sit down and work on it tonight. My other whip that I am working on is, this was one of my starts from when I did my 12 Days of Christmas starts. No bees, no honey. And there are a lot of people that have finished this. I've seen it on a couple of the Facebook groups of people that have finished it. This is an older chart, but it is still available. And this is where I'm at. Let me put something behind it. This is where I'm at. And now I am kind of committed to have this done this year, which I am hoping to have it done by the end of the month, if not within the first week or so of April, because I did put the date. This one is charted. Most people have middle names. I don't have a middle name, so I only put two my initials in there, which is only two of them. And then it was, I don't know what I did wrong, but I centered it wrong, even though I thought I centered it right. So I'm kind of off. So I added some little stitches there, but to me it kind of looks funny. So I think I might just add like maybe a bee button there. I think last time I showed this, I had the beehive done except for these little light yellow diagonal lines. So I added them. I think the vines were done too. Most of them were anyway. So I added the white, the light yellow diagonal lines, the little door. I've added the bees. There's 4 bees I've added, and the little flowers. So anyway, I hope to have this done. I don't know. I thought really this is the hard part on it, or the one that's going to take the most time, because now mostly it's just the words. So I'm going to try, if I get the shepherd's bush stocking, then hopefully I can get this done also. But if not, it will go into probably the first week or so of April, and then it will be done. And then I will start on another one of my whips I have that I need to get done, because I want to get my whips all whittled down to where I have my monthly ones that I'm working on, which is Hometown Holidays, Santa's Village, Shepherd's Bush Stocking, the Halloween one, and then I want to have one other whip that I'm working on consistently to get it done. So those are my whips. That's all I have for my whips. Okay, so haul. I'm going to just show you some of what I've got. I have bought a few things that were very popular from Market. But they're ones people have showed over and over and over, and I'm just not going to show them. So I'll just show you a few of what I've got. I really like hands-on design, the things that Kathy had this year from Market and what her plans are for this year. as far as charts. I'm just really liking what she's got. So I purchased these, and I have seen that some people actually have them already done. I think Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch has them already finished. But I've got those 3. I am going to finish them exactly how she has them. So I bought also the finishing kit to finish these 3 charts. So I just love these. They are just really cute. And I'm not changing the colors, nothing on them. I'm going to do the same colors that she called. Well, I'll do the DMC conversion is what I'll do. I might add some fancy floss in there somewhere, but I'm not going to do them all in the overdyes. And then I think I'm going to just take the fabric that I have, and I'm going to coffee and tea stain it, and I'm just going to leave it in the pot a long time so I can get it this same color. And then the next thing I have, also from Hands On Design, is I ordered this. It's called Stitch Over 2, and it says Stitch Over 2 all the day through. I just love that. And it does come with the little wool so that you can stitch the pocket. And she included, there's 2 pieces in here, but I don't know how there's 2 pieces, but anyway. And then my idea for this is Christine with Calico is her channel name, but her name is Christine. She showed a box that she had bought at Walmart, and you can buy these at Walmart in the craft section, but they are not with the wood stuff, they are with the kids craft stuff. And I think what I'm going to do is go back and get me 2 more of these boxes. And I am going to stitch this, but I'm going to stitch it this way with the scissors at the bottom and the strawberry, and then I'm going to take the words and I'm going to stitch them probably into different lines or whatever right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount it on the top of this. And if you go and watch Calico, Christine Calico, as her YouTube channel, if you go and watch her, she actually finished, that's where I saw this, to go get this box, and how she finished it. Only she finished it using this chart. So if you want to know, if you want to see what I'm talking about as the finished product, go and look hers up. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go get 2 more. I'm going to paint them, and I'm going to stitch this one, and then I'm going to stitch this one, and I'm going to do the main charts for the top, and then in here I'm going to, on this one, I'll use one of the scissor fobs and make a pin cushion that will stick in here. And I'm going to make little sewing kits for my granddaughters. I have 3 granddaughters, so that's why I want to go get 2 more, and I want to make 3 of them, and I'll make them little sewing kits. And so my idea is maybe to do this one and this one, and then for the 3rd one, stitch this one by Hands On Design. I also bought this. This was also a market release. It says needles and pins, and I figured I could stitch this and put on the top, and then maybe take this little motif, or maybe the motif and the little girl out, and stitch it and use it for the pin cushion that I'm going to mount inside of here. So anyway, but this kit, so anyway, this continues into my haul. This kit also came with the overdyed floss, and it also came with, so I can get them, the buttons, or not the buttons, they're not buttons, they are the pins for the, which I'm going to make this into a pin cushion for myself, and I'll put the pins in it, but I think I want to just stitch this to go on top of the box to make a sewing kit for my granddaughter. The other things I got from Hands On Design, and these, and some people have shown, is this. There's three in this series. The Never Ending Cycle is what this chart is called. And so anyway, so in this one you get this chart, plus you get this bonus chart that if you buy all 3 in the series, you'll get a 4th chart, because she's going to release one of these little bonus ones in each of the series, and then so you'll end up with a bonus chart. But so anyway, I got that one. And then the other one I got is this one, and this is also one of her new series. It's called Around the Holidays is the series name. And this is the first in the series. It says, "Oh, say, can you see?" And she has included a chart to do the drum and a chart to do the pillow. And she's also included the velveteen to finish either the drum or the pillow. And what I'm thinking though is, because I've looked at how much velveteen is here. If I do just regular fabric on the bottom of the drum, I think I might have enough velveteen to finish the top of the drum and the pillow. So we'll see. But I'm going to buy, I'll end up, as she's releasing these, I'll end up buying, so I have the whole series because I really like those. The other 2 things that I bought that came out at market this year are things that people have not showed on, they have not shown on their videos. They are not, I guess, I don't know, the in thing, I guess. They're not Plum Street, and they're not with a needle and thread. They are by Jeanette Douglas. The first one is called Letters from Mom. And this is a series. There will be 4 more released within the next year. There's going to be June, I think June, September, December, and next March will be the other 4 releases in this series. And what it is, this is actually a better picture of the chart that is included in this one. And this is, she has 2 ways you can stitch this. You can either stitch it, oh, where is it? As one big chart. And so this one would go in the middle. This one would go in the middle here. And then for 4 in September, let's see, June, September, December, and next March, she'll release 3 more. 3 of these. And what these are is they are like little notes or inspiration. Now, when I was looking, let me kind of go back. When I was looking at this, it kind of caught my eye when I was looking at the previews that was on a website of the previews of what's going to be in Nashville. But then when Teresa Kitten Stitcher did her video, and she was at market, and she went into Jeanette Douglas's booth, Jeanette talked about this series. And so if you want to go back and watch, it was just a little snippet in there, but go back and watch Teresa's video of market, and you'll see them. But you can either stitch them all as one piece, or you can stitch each of the little love notes individually and put them in this little envelope and make it, and then the main part goes into, it's stitched on you sew it into the envelope when you make the envelope, and then you put the little love notes in it. And she included an alphabet chart in here, so that you don't have to do letters from mom. You could do letters from Nana. You could do letters from friend. You could do letters from, you could personalize this to any way you want to personalize it. And I have not decided how I'm going to stitch it, if I want to stitch it as one big piece. But I thought that if I did it this way, because I need to go back in, because it said something in this packet that you can either order this, or I don't know if she's going to get instructions to make it. But I was looking just at the picture, and I think if I went in and did Vanna's tutorial for making the project bags and just downsized it and made it smaller, I could make this envelope and then sew this onto the front of it. But anyway, so that's something that was a market release. It was not, something that everybody's been showing in their videos, but I really liked it, and I really liked the sentiment, so I got that. The other thing I got from that was released at market is also by Jeanette Douglas, and it is called Vintage Animals. And there's a closer picture of it. She does have vintage birds. Actually, there's 4. There's vintage stars, vintage flowers, vintage birds, and then the vintage animals. And I really, really dislike this one. I do like the birds one and the flowers one. The birds ones I can get on 1, 2, 3 stitch. I cannot find the vintage flower one. I would really, really, really like that one. She does show them all 4 here. But I think I'm going to order the vintage flowers or the vintage birds. But I really want that one too. But I just really like this chart. So I ordered it. And then something else I ordered. I got a couple more prairie schoolers. These are the original ones. Vintage eggs and just hatched. I wanted some springy things that were prairie schooler. And I wanted to get them before these charts were no longer available because these are the originals. So eventually they will not be available. And then you'd have to wait for the reprint. So I got them. The other thing that I bought is I bought this. Plum Street Samplers Blackberry House. Okay, you may say, oh, didn't you already show this? Yes, because I didn't realize I already had it. So I have 2. What I did is when I had put this in my cart at 1, 2, 3 stitch, I was thinking, yeah, I have that. I know I have that somewhere. So I was looking for it in my file cabinet. I couldn't find it because I was looking under Blackbird Designs, and because I have everything alphabetized in here by designer, and I was thinking this was by Blackbird Designs. So I was in the file in Blackbird Designs looking for this, and it was in there. So I ordered it, got it, and I'm like, oh, it's Plum Street. I think the black, because this is Blackberry House. I think the black. I was thinking Blackbirds. So I have 2. Excuse me. I no longer have a cold. Allergies have now hit me. Allergy season is upon us. So I have an extra, and so I emailed one of my friends, and I'm like, look, I sent her a picture. I'm like, oh, look, I have 2 of them, and she says, oh, I just ordered that today, and I'm like, oh, I was gonna send you my extra copy. So she ordered it. But what I was thinking is maybe doing a stitch along. And because it has birds and flowers, I thought that might be a fun summer stitch along. Starting it on the first day of summer. So if anybody is interested in doing the stitch along, leave a comment below and ask, and let's see. And if I have enough interest, maybe we'll do a stitch along. And we'll start on the first day of summer, June 21st. But anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to do with my extra copy. I thought about holding on to it, and if I get 400 subscribers, maybe I'll do a giveaway. Maybe if I decide to do the stitch along when it gets closer to the stitch along, maybe I'll do a giveaway then. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So but for right now, I'm hanging on to it. Other stuff I bought. So I showed you in my last video these 2 quilts. They are both applique. This one is wool applique. This one is just quilting cotton. They're both applique. You can do this one in quilting cotton also. But I ordered fabric so I can stitch those, or I can make them. Who knows when I'll get to them, but there's my fabric for this one. And because I wasn't sure if this was going to be enough fabric, I ordered another fat quarter bundle fabric. And then I ordered fabric for the borders. So I know it's not cross stitch related, but it is haul. And then I ordered fabric. You can't see it very good. For the truck, or the other one, this one. And this is wool flannel that I'm going to use. Anyway, that's my haul. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to make this really quick, I'm going to kind of get on a little soapbox. I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. These are two people that have been making Flosstube videos for a while now. Well, I shouldn't say a while, since the first of the year. One has 4 videos out, the other one has 5. And I looked at their subscriber numbers. They are very low. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know how to say this, and I don't want to come across as being wrong. There are popular floss tubers that have hundreds, thousands of subscribers. You know, hundreds of subscribers into the thousands of subscribers. And some of them are really only have 3 or 4 videos, but they are shouted out, I think, by the right people. I'm not one of the right people, but they're shouted out by the right people, and then everybody goes and watches them, and they get 500 subscribers. There's a couple of them that have they actually have like over 500 subscribers, and they've done 2 weeks. But they're being shouted out by the right people. But I am going to do shout outs of these 2 people because they don't have very many subscribers. They are new. And I think if the right people were shouting them out, that their subscribers would jump. The first one I'm going to do, and I enjoy watching both of these, and so they are. I have a list of Flosstube channels in my in the ones I subscribe to, and then I have some that I set the notification so I get an alert on my phone when they have a new video. These are 2 that I do have set to get an alert on my phone when I have the video. And it's just because I enjoy them. There's nothing, spectacular about what they do. They just are cross stitchers like me. They just are cross stitchers. They, they're just, and I like them. I like watching them. There's something I like what they stitch, and I just put them on and I watch them while I'm stitching, or I'll watch them at night when I go to bed, and I just enjoy them. The first one is Gigi in Stitches. Her name is Ginger, and she is from Mississippi. She has her daughter, her 16, I think she's 16-year-old daughter. Her name is Natalie, and her daughter Natalie does American Sign Language. So Ginger does talk kind of slow because her daughter is signing next to her, and so she has to talk slow so her daughter can sign. You really need to go and see some of her, especially I think her first and second video, because she shows some amazing cross stitch pieces that she has done in the past, and some of them they're huge, they're big, and they're just so pretty. So really check her out. She is a stay-at-home mom. She has 4 daughters, and she homeschools them, and I enjoy her. I enjoy watching her, and I have talked to her a little bit through Messenger on Facebook, and I like her, so go watch her. Gigi in Stitches. The next one I want to shout out, she did 4 videos. She has 5 videos out. She did 4, like 1 a week for a month, back I believe in January. And then I hadn't seen her for a while, and she did a video the other day, and she was talking about she wasn't sure if she wanted to continue to do videos. She just she had she was kind of disappointed in the response she was getting from Flosstube. She was not feeling the Flosstube love. She didn't get very many comments. She doesn't have very many subscribers. And she did say in her video, she says, I must not be exciting enough. And so she kind of, I think she's kind of feeling like she's kind of being let down by the Flosstube community. So go and check. Her name is her channel name is Lisa's Stitching Stable. And it's stitching, STITCHIN. Lisa's Stitching Stable. And I'm going to put both of their links in the show notes at the bottom so that you can just click on them and go check them out. But I kind of feel the same way she does. You know, the same people are shouted out in everybody's video. Same people. And don't get me wrong, I love watching those same people. I have them, you know, I've subscribed to them. I have them set on my notifications. And, but the same people are always shouted out. And so the lesser known ones are never, ever, ever shouted out. And so, and how I found these ones is because on, you know, you have your video, but then you'll have on the side suggested Flosstube channels to watch. And I've clicked on those, and that's how I found these people. And one thing I do want to say is we have to remember a lot of us are going out of our comfort zone. I know that I am. I can talk into this because I'm talking to myself. I'm looking at myself on the computer and I'm talking to myself, and so I can talk. I am not an extrovert person. I am an introvert. And I am not one, I'm not quick-witted. I mean, I am after the fact. I'm thinking, oh, I should have said that, and, you know, or whatever. I am a total introvert. Again, I do have a job that I do have to put myself out there, and because I work with the public and I have to talk to people I don't know all the time, all day long, but I'm still not an extrovert. I'm very shy, and in fact, people, if I've going to my husband's Christmas party is really, really hard for me. I stress about it for days because I am not one that goes into a situation with a lot of people, and I'm one that sits back and watches. I'm not one that just can jump into a conversation and talk to people. And so, and that's kind of like with Flosstube. You know, if I was actually to have you all in a room, I probably wouldn't be talking until I get to know you. When I get to know somebody, then I don't have a problem talking to them and having conversations. But it's just I am not one to put myself out there. So everybody needs to remember that a lot of us are going out of our comfort zone doing these videos. And I think and that's one thing with Lisa. She is out of her comfort zone doing a video, and she just has not felt like she has had the Flosstube love. And so I encourage you to go and check out people that are not, you may not know their names, and they may have low subscribers, but go check them out and at least watch one or two of their videos, or, you know, comment on their videos, because, you know, this makes it a lot better. Okay, so I'm just going to show you really quick some quilts I've been, they're not actually quilts, they're quilt squares. My daughter come over this week. We are working on a quilt, and it's out of a book called Farm Girl Vintage, and it's by Lori Holt. If you are in the quilting community, you know the name. She is very well known in the quilting community. And I have, so we've been doing squares out of her book, and then she actually had companion squares that you could go to Fat Quarter Shop and you could buy the PDF downloads of the other squares. So in total, we're going to have like 60 squares, 60 12.5-inch squares. If I made a quilt out of 60 12.5-inch squares, it would be huge. It would be bigger than a king. It would just be a huge quilt. So I'm going to take the squares and I'm going to divide them up, and I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do 3 quilts or if I'm going to do 2 quilts, but I'm going to make 2 quilts. I'm going to show you, this is one of her books by Lori Holt. Her books are nice books. This is one she put out this year. Farm Girl Vintage has been out for a few years, but I love her books because she is very detailed in her instructions for her blocks. A beginner quilter could do one of her quilts because she is so detailed in her instructions. And she does have a blog, and she does quilt-alongs on her blog where they're free. So you can do, you can either buy her fabric line and do the quilt-alongs using her fabric, or you could just use your fabric, whatever, if you want to go buy your own, or if you want to use scraps or whatever. So she does have quilt-alongs that are free, and she also does have books that you can buy. What I really like about her books is not only does she have I just lost something out of the book. Not only does she have the instructions to do the quilt that's on the front, in the back of the book, she has other quilts that you can do. So she has mini quilts, she has full-size quilts, she has table runners, and they all use the patterns in the book, but there are different quilts that you can make. So just a couple of other quilts that you can make. So anyway, I really like her style in that. Anyway, so I'm doing the Farm Girl Vintage quilt. And I will end up making 2 or 3 quilts. I haven't decided, but these are the blocks that my daughter and I made this week. We made this block and this block. These are peas. Isn't that cute? So I think we have 3 more blocks, and then I will decide which block's going to go in which quilt, and I'm either going to do 2 or 3 quilts. Let's see if I can hold this up better so you don't see you can still see behind it. But anyway, so that's my quilt for this week. I'm gonna be glad when I'm done with these squares, because we've only been working on it for 2 years, I think, year and a half. But they're fun to make. Fun. And like I said, her instructions are so detailed that a beginner quilter could make one of her quilts. And in her books, she includes the pad on her patterns. She includes, so you can make the instructions and quilting or the cutting instructions to do a 12.5-inch block or a 6.5-inch block. I'm doing the 12.5-inch blocks. I've done one of her 6.5-inch blocks. I think you do have to have a little bit of more quilting knowledge. They're just, the pieces are so tiny and it's really fussy. But so anyway, I'm doing the bigger blocks. Okay, that's all I have. That is it. And 48 minutes. I like them about 45 minutes, so we're doing really good here. So my plans for the week, or until I see it again, is continuing on Shepherd's Bush stocking and on my No Bees, No Honey. After the 1st of April, I'll start on Santa's Village, the next house, which is Mrs. Claus's Cookies. I'll start that actually April 1st, maybe. Depends. That's Easter, isn't it? Depends. I'm working that day too. So. And then after the 1st of the month, I'll start on another Hometown Holidays, and I'll start on the Halloween Rules, another one of those. that's it. So until I see you again, I don't know when it's going to be. Like I said, I'm not going to do these every week anymore. It's too much. I have too much going on. So maybe every 2 weeks, maybe just a monthly update. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. We'll see. So have a good weekend, everybody, and have a happy Easter if you celebrate Easter. Have a happy Easter, and I will see you back in a couple of weeks, maybe. Bye.